about to go live. I'm waiting for my mashed potatoes. I'm making mashed potatoes too. Personal batch. I didn't know sure if y'all wanted some or not. But next time I'll make a bigger pot and I'll put some milk in there, put some cheese, gotta get some shredded cheese. Or get block cheese and we get a grater and then make like some cheesy mashed potatoes. I haven't had that in a long time. Mashed potatoes. Yeah. Let's go. Shalom Elohim. Peace be upon you. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High Yahuwah through His Son Yahushua HaMashiach. It's your brother Uncle K, man. We're here with another live, man. Let's go. We got the Ak Danny of the building. We got the Ak Makai in the building. And we got the Ak Akim in the building. Shalom Elohim. Peace be upon you all. Peace be upon you all. You got put on timeout? Who put you on timeout? I ain't put you on timeout. Yes, sir. So, yeah, this is gonna be a nice live, man. All praises to the Most High once again. Phone 90%, fully charged up. The mic, good battery. Right now, I'm making some food right now, so the beef is almost done. So I'm put the lid on that, let that cool off for a little bit, and I got some golden potatoes that's boiling right now. So this is gonna give me enough time to go live and then eat a nice, edifying meal. You know, get that power. Had a good full body session today. Yes, sir. Said the last one came moving crazy. Uh oh. Uh oh. It was probably something he saw, man. It's probably something we was talking about, and he was like, he saw a red flag, man. We got a lot of lieutenants in here, man. We got a lot of lieutenants in here, man. I'm say it again. We got a lot of lieutenants in the building. I appreciate y'all for liking the live, man. I appreciate y'all. But we're about to go on standby real quick, 30 seconds. I gotta go make sure the patty's not over. I don't like overcooking my food. Really, when it comes down to beef, you want to make sure that all the blood is out of the patty, is fully cooked, but it's not dry. You want to make sure it's nice and tender. And then you cut up some onions. Oh, you cut up some garlic. Oh, you sprinkle some cilantro on there. Oh, come on, man. And we got a whole avocado to go with that meal, man. So let me go check that real quick. I'll be right back. Stand by 15, 30 seconds. Couple more minutes. All right. All right, all right, all right. Yeah, it's a blessing to be able to build the ox. That's a fact, man. So, in this live, we're going to talk about lust. Lust got to be put away so you can see clear, right? And I believe that the times is only getting worse. So, it's extremely pivotal if you have put it away to keep it put away, right? And if you are trying to develop and grow and you deepen this lust, man, we're going to come with some solutions. Because even for the men that has put it away, we got some good solutions, right? And a lot of us, we have a lot of wisdom as well too, right? So we know the times we're living in, man. Lust is moving at an all-time high. Everywhere you go, it's around the corner, it's up the block, down the block. It's in the grocery stores, right? It's in the shopping centers. It's in the gyms. It's everywhere, man. It's everywhere. And the thing about lust is that it doesn't have an ideal image, right? It could be whatever. It could be someone that weigh 350, right? Now, if you weighing 350 and you a woman, you're definitely gonna have to get that thyroid checked out, get that blood pressure checked out. Probably gonna have to get on a low carb diet, you know. But it's a lot, man. Overweight women, all different types of shapes, bodies, whatever. You know, lust is the agenda. And lust, when you think about it, right, there's a lot of men that are going after women that's selling their bodies like prostitution, man. And they don't have the realization of that emptiness, right? Because lust leaves you empty, right? When you go out and seek it, right, and you receive the the pleasures that come with lust, it leaves you empty, right? It's like a bottle full of coconut water, and you try to get a sip, and then there's no more coconut water, and now you thirsty. You lack in electrolytes, lack of potassium, you lack in vitality. You just feel empty, right? It's like you going to wash your clothes at the laundromat. You think you got a full tank of detergent. You go to wash your clothes and you try to pour something out, and there's nothing there to clean it up. Lust leaves you empty. All right, Psalms 9:1 it says, I will praise Yahuwah. According to his righteousness, I will sing praise to the Most High Yahuwah through his son Yahushua HaMashiach. Hallelujah. 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 Then he said, I've realized lust is the reason for all problems in the world, mental, physical, spiritual. Absolutely, man. A lot of people are going through a lot of psychological things because of lust. Lust takes peace away. Lust takes that shalom away. Lust takes everything from you. It takes your heart, takes your mind. And that's why you got to hold on to it. But we're gonna have a slight brief intermission. I think the beef is done, so I just want to go turn it off. But we're gonna be right back though. What? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Damn. Now we're just gonna let those potatoes do it. Gonna let the potatoes do its thing. Let me make sure I got my water. Gotta stay hydrated. Yeah. So it's very important for the man to put away lust, man. So important because we see that men these days they're even worse. Right, fellas? Look, y'all remember those days, right? When we first was on retention, when we first was practicing retention. Y'all remember? Like it was yesterday, right? It was like, man, it was like yesterday. You know, I remember like 2019 when I was doing it unknowingly, right? And when I mean unknowingly, I mean there was no title. It was just like, hey man, I want to put away unclean things. And whatever I didn't know that was unclean, the Most High was going to reveal it to me in due time. So we have to put away the smoking, right? Put away, put away sipping on the sake, right, with orange juice. Right, had to put away the fornication just so I could get that clarity, right? Y'all remember how the times was back in those days, right? Back in 2018, 2019, when y'all was first getting on y'all streaks, when y'all was first transforming your lives, right? Taking this on as a lifestyle. Y'all remember how things used to be? You remember how life it still felt like there was a lot of vitality going on, like things was moving, right? Things was moving around us, right? Like we felt we still had a spunk, even though we was depleted, right? But the times you looking at right now, it's like men are now more feminine, more depleted, more drained, right? More sluggard, more slow, right? They looking more defeated, right? These phones are still in their hands, hunched over. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's even worse. It's worse. Now when you get in public, if you're not living set apart, you're not talking to nobody. But check it, a lot of people in this world, they not living set apart. They're not living set apart. But when they come around people, it's no more communion. It's no more being social no more because it's all social media. Because a lot of people are their brains, they dopamine, their receptors, that frontal lobe, that cortex now is always being stimulated by 15-second clips, right? By nonsense, right? What's good, McGregor? Good to see you. Good to see you. Hope all is well. How you feeling, man? He said it's ruining so many lives. Intercourse is for procreation only, not recreation. That's exactly what we talking. He said Danny said all I know is this comeback will be the comeback to remember forever. It's now or never. Realizing it takes years off of life. It is not mentioned. I don't feel alive if I'm lustful. Yeah, so it's over. No more. That's right, man. If you right now, if you've been putting away for a long time and it's been put away for a decent amount of time, don't invite it back in, man. Don't invite it back in. Because the young man right now that's in his early 20s that does not know discipline and think that he can still defile his temple and still go to the gym and work out, he's not it's a reason why he's not getting no gains. It's a reason why. It's a reason why he's feeling weak. It's a reason why he's always on his phone after each set. It's a reason why. Right? It's a reason why a lot of men now is trying to find solutions for testosterone now. It's a reason why. And even in the days of old, we gotta understand that they didn't have synthetic testosterone like TRT and things of that nature. The men of old was already taking in these herbs, these natural herbs that they now have promoted worldwide. You know, the men of old been taking these herbs, and now we got these herbs, and we have a healthy mind and a healthy lifestyle, and now our testosterone is through the roof. We gaining muscle mass, we staying healthy, we looking vibrant. You know, we not boasting, but it's how we feel, right? It's how we feel, and a lot of men are not feeling like this. You know what I'm saying? Said a lot of my so-called black uncles ended up in sticky situations because they were outside lusting over European women and other nations. They either in jail, child support, in the grave. Tell y'all, man, when you chase after a cat, you know you gotta think a cat. It could really like okay, we're talking about a literal cat, but in this context, you know we're talking about lust and we're talking about women, right? So a cat could slide through a lot of different things. If a gate is this narrow, a cat could slide his head through and his whole body could slither through. A cat could go under like a one of them sewage drains, you know, on the street corners how they have, you know, it's a curb and then they have a deep little, you know, thing you slide into. You know, a cat could, you know, go into that. So think of this, right? You out here chasing after lust, you chasing after women, right? And you keep chasing. This woman keep running, like road runner, keep running, and you keep chasing. And then she slip under one of them curbs, and you try to reach, and then you gonna bang your head or you know something. You gonna hurt yourself. You know that's what lust do. Lust hurt you. Hurt yourself every time you chase after lust. Lust eats you up. Lust is like a parasite, and a lot of people are walking parasites. A lot. I'm telling y'all, man, one of the biggest things that can keep you away from lust is social media apps. That's one of the biggest things that if you're not using it to get edification and to learn something, you have no business being on it. You know, people think that they losing out on something if they delete Instagram. What are you losing out of deleting Instagram? A lot of people on this app you don't even know. And when it comes to family members that's not living set apart, a lot of these family members are taking ridiculous photos as well too. You know, doing all different type of things too. And you telling me you want to see that? Look, the Mashiach said you got to leave mother, father, sister, brother, all that for him. So at the end of the day, if you're seeing something that's not pertaining to that, and it's a family member, you think you're gonna hold on to Instagram just so you keep in contact with a family member? See, on Instagram, you got the explore page, right? And if you're a man, they're gonna push women to you, right? It's that simple. This is how these apps are designed. If you put that you're a man, they're gonna push women to you. It don't matter what you have on it. You can have faith-based inspiration. You can have fitness, especially if you at fitness. They're gonna start posting. They're gonna be showing you a lot of women on that squat rack doing a lot of cable kickbacks and all that. The same stuff you see in the regular gyms, but this time it's a little bit more worse. So some men are afraid, like they losing something. They leave their house, walk into a store with a phone in their hand, like they missing out on something. It's like screens, man, screens, screens. You got a 50-inch TV in your house. You watching TV and on the phone. You got a 50-inch TV in the house. You leave the house, and then you still looking at the phone, walking down the street. It's getting ridiculous, man. You can't be afraid to put those things away, put those apps away, put that Facebook away, put all these apps away, man. That's promoting nonsense that you're not eating from. If you're not eating from it, if you're not learning how to do something on it, why are you on it? Say, yeah, yeah. Now they try to make it look iniquity. Hold on, now they're trying to make iniquity look cool and righteousness look bad. We set the example that the youth need to look up to, especially if their fathers don't got their head screwed on right. I mean, that's right, Even in the gyms, man, sometimes I don't want to help nobody, really, but if I'm on a machine and another man is trying to use the machine, I'm gonna put him on some game. I'm training today. I'm doing full body. I was on a preacher curl and I saw this young man, he put so much weight on it and he's struggling to get it up. Struggling to get it up. I was supersetting between preacher curl for the biceps and supersetting for tricep pushdowns, right? Getting my work in five sets, 10 reps each workout, just getting money. And I had to tell this man, look, lighten up the load, man. Lighten up the load. You know, you got to really get the contraction. Take your time, man. Just whatever like. I didn't say whatever you watching and stuff like that, but that's what I be thinking. A lot of these guys be watching these guys on social media lifting all this weight. You know, they be watching bodybuilders and stuff like that. It may be on anabolics or whatnot, or just even dudes that worked up to that weight throughout years, maybe training 15 to 20 years and worked their way up to that weight. And you thinking that you could lift that same type of weight. I had to give man a little bit of education. I said, listen, man, you got that weight on 160 pounds. Lighten that load. Put it on, put it on, put it on whatever, put it on 20. I was doing ISO, so I had it on 50. Just getting my preacher curls on 50s. He was like, okay, let me try the 50. Two arms, because one arm may be a little tough for him. I said, look, hit a slight little arch. Keep the tension on the bicep. Don't lock out. Keep your wrist like, you're trying to hook it into the bicep and squeeze. When he was doing it, I was seeing him smiling. When he got off the machine and I was on a tricep, he came to dab me up. He had a smile on his face. I was like, oh, yeah, you feeling good, huh? You feel that contraction, right? Yeah. you wasn't getting it before when you was trying to, be Mr. Macho, trying to probably impress people and go back tell your friends, hey man, I was curling, all the heavyweight, man. You know, little things like that. We cause correction, but when it comes down to telling a man, hey man, get off the phone, bro. You in this gym training? Hey, get off that phone, man. Put in some work. You you gonna make them feel like it's your daddy talking. Hey man, put that phone down, man. Put in some work, man. Come on. Get off that phone, man. Stop watching women on the phone in between sets, man. Put in that work. Like, come on, man. We don't want people out here really. We don't like seeing people just destroyed, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a bad thing to know that you're a man and it's hard to rely on another man, when it comes down to war. There's only a few men that's war ready, right? It's a lot of men out here that's not war ready. It's only but a few, man. But you see, we don't cling unto man in the first place, right? We cling unto the most high, right? We cling unto Yahuwah through his son Yahusha. We don't cling unto the man, right? But push come to shove, right? If, we had to go to war or something like that, who gonna stand with you? Who gonna stand with you if you're the only set apart man in your community, right? That's in these laws, these statutes, these commandments, in these scriptures, in this gym, doing that work, have sexual discipline, putting away all iniquities, right? Who gonna stand with you when it's time to really go to war? Who? See, that's why it's you and you. Real talk. He said after years of retention, it's only a matter of time until the spirit just comes upon you again. It's a serious challenge to hold on to your seed. Yeah, it's a serious challenge, but it's worth it. After a while, it don't become really a challenge. I feel like it don't really become a challenge when you really are is dialed in for the reasons why you're doing it, and by you not wanting to be weak and you don't want to partake in the things of the world, and especially when this world is full of lust. It's like you don't even want to feel like you in a sticky situation. So sometimes it don't feel serious. I mean, it don't feel like a challenge. More so, you be so serious now when you go about your business, and it's not like you mad or anything like that. But your countenance, it just you just on point. Like you just focus. You just aware of what's going on. You know how a lot of people be smiling all day, acting like everything cool, but you're not really smiling, but you don't feel bad within. You know what I'm saying? You just know that it's so much iniquity, and that grieves the ruach. That grieves a man that's full in the spirit righteously. That grieves a man when he comes around all that nonsense. So it don't make no sense to smile. You can still smile because there's moments where a lot of situations happen and you be feeling real, nostalgic, and you be having, a lot of good hormones going on, because you probably trained or you just having a great day. Certain moments you just be smiling and laughing sometimes, but when you come around a lot of people, man, you be so dialed in that, it don't really become a challenge. It's a challenge when you make it a challenge, I feel. It's a challenge when you begin and you gotta learn to put it away. And you're absolutely right. Yeah, when the spirit of the most high comes upon you, yeah, then you like, okay, cool. And it's up to you. It's up to you how fast you want that to happen. If you want to follow his commandments, it could come upon you right away. And then you realize what it is. You said we don't talk to people who are not set apart. That's right. I mean, we don't have deep conversations, but we do bring light to the situation. We do bring joy to the situation. We do bring edification to the situation. We do want people to be better, right? Because it was people that lift us up when we were not in the right state of mind at times. And y'all know what I'm talking about. If there was anyone that came on my platform that was, in a difficult situation, their mindset wasn't right, and they came on my platform, then hey, that's a beautiful thing, right? It's a beautiful thing because we need people to inform us at times of things that we need help on or don't know, and then it's up to you to you know continue to push. You said when you knew your wife was your wife. Man, I just knew, you know, I just knew it wasn't anything too complicated for me to know that. Like, you see, I'm the kind of guy, I'm the man that when I get into a relationship, I don't just tap cheeks and leave. You feel what I'm saying? I'm not a tapper and then I'm out. You know, being 32 years young right now in this time we living in, you know, I lay down with I laid down with a woman for the first time when I was 19, right? I didn't start off, super early, doing it in high school and middle school and things like that. You know, my whole career, I didn't sleep with a woman until I got out of high school, right? And I could count on one hand how much women I slept with, right? But I'm not really focused on that. But when I met my wife, we've been married for 3 years, a little over 3 years now, but we've been together for like 7. Yeah, we've been together for like 7. It was like I was saying, like when you meet a woman, right, you gotta know if this is who it is. But then when you start putting away iniquities and things like that, then you really want to solidify it. So yeah, man, a lot of people think that in the times you're living in right now that somebody's just gonna jump to you and y'all just gonna get married like that. A lot of times, man, men are afraid to make commitments because they feel like they're missing out on something. Listen, if you have a great woman and you're not out here masturbating and watching other things online and doing all these different type of things, man, you're not gonna be out here meditating on other women and feeling like you're missing out or you need like 2 or 3 more until you know for sure if this is the one. You get what I'm saying? Because when I was putting away lust, me and my wife, we came to the agreement. Like I said it first, I was like, "Hey, I want to stop doing this. I want to stop doing that. Yo, let's be pure. Let's put away sex and let's level up." And she was like, "I'm with it." And it was that easy. You see, I didn't have to, give her a script and sugarcoat things and this, that, and the third. Like, it was, let's get it. Let's go. It was that easy. And we here now. We got a wonderful son. He's gonna be 2 years old soon. Yeah, willing. So he said, see Hakeem said, it is used to hold up. It is all used to fry your brain so you can't socialize or think for yourself. If you're not using technology for righteousness' sake, then you're using it for the vanity, and vanity is death. That's facts, man. That's facts. That's why, when we stand in front of individuals and you are walking in righteousness, like I stated in a previous video, that you do become more attractive. And a lot of people, they only focus on attractive people on social media. Like they be so quick to double tap a photo of somebody with a filter or angles and all of that. But when you're standing face to face with somebody, especially a woman, right? And she's, doing all like she's trying to like, tighten her jaw and trying to not shake and move and all this and that. She's standing in front of you and she's doing all this, that, like she, trying to avoid eye contact and all this. It's really strange, man. And that just shows you like so many people out here just really dealing with so much, man. And it's primarily it's lust. The root cause of a lot of things is lust, man. Lust have you out here smoking cigarettes, smoking crack, smoking pookie, smoking, fentanyl, doing all different type of stuff out here, smoking all everything, man. Out here drinking liquor all day, just trying to suppress stuff. Like it'll be how you out here walking crazy. You'll be walking, there's a lot of men out here these days, man. Just because of lust, they walking around with dresses on, blouses. Real talk. You said the most it's the most best thing to do. Hold up. It's the most it's the most best thing to do is to retain. I'm reading exactly how you wrote it. The only way is to be the example. And patience is the key because it takes time to build. That's right, man. That's right. It always takes time to build, man. You can't build a body overnight. I mean, the Most High took time with you in your mother's womb, right? He put all that good seasoning in that womb. He got you right because if you at this point right now and you clinging onto righteousness, that shows how much the Most High had His hand on you. Cause look, check it in the scriptures. There's somewhere in the scriptures that says like, the Most High, he chose some people. He put some things in people, man, to be who they are right now. And he's not talking. And when you read it, he's not talking about financial. He's not talking about, oh, you're gonna get this job and drive an Audi, and live in Beverly Hills. Nah, 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 nah. He's talking about your conduct. He's talking about that ruach, right? That ruach hakodesh. He's talking about like that intuition, that wisdom, that guidance, right? That deliverance, right? That strength, right? That 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 zeal to cling unto Him and no one else, right? He put that in you, right? He said specifically, said, I made some people like this, and I made some other people like, yeah, like, nah, nah. Nah. He's like, nah, you're not worth nothing. Nah, nah, nah. You're not worth this. You're not worth that. But He chose some people too to be like for real. And that's something to really look at and look at yourself and examine yourself and be like, hold up. The Most High Yahuwah had His hand on me. He made me fearfully and wonderfully made. He hasn't made a lot of people fearfully and wonderfully made too. If I could find that precept right now, I'll put it right now. I think I'm gonna find it later, highlight it in the scriptures, and then point that out, man, because it's somewhere in the scriptures, man. I read He made some people just like filth, just trash. He was like, you're not the type of model. Really, you're not the model I'm looking for. I'm sorry. Thank you for the shoot and everything like that. But, if we do need you, just leave your email. We probably get to you. So you gotta look at how you moving right now and be like, wow, for real. Great analogy, hey, shalom, bro. Good to see you, man. Hey, much love, yo, Clyde. Much love too. I said we put, yeah, yeah. You can put it away easy. But lust is a tussle. Lust just takes all the Baruchs, yup, like a parasite as well. That's a great comparison. That's right, man. It's a parasite, man. Parasites, they come in, they eat up everything, man. They eat up everything. You eat the wrong type of food, man, you're gonna have diarrhea. Parasites, man, give you leaky gut. Thinking about lust as a bacteria, lust as a parasite. It only destroys. It just breaks down the whole temple, the whole body, right? It's a filthy thing, man. A lot of these bros out here, man, it's like they don't have no muzzle because they wasn't trained properly. You know what I'm saying? And we always blame it on a man because a lot of men, they will be there for their daughters, man. But a lot of men are afraid to be there for their sons. You see how that roll, right? So if the man is there for his daughter, right, it's because the woman, he was a simp. He was mostly conformed to what the woman was doing, her ideals, right? She probably had, she's probably giving him some, and the mother was a loose cat, a loose broad out here, a loose harlot out here. She walking around with the leggings and all that, and then the daughter is seeing that too, so she grew up with a simp as a father, so she's doing the same things, and that's how a lot of these broads out here moving. And when it come down to the young men don't have strong fathers out here because they just like, you know what, I'm gonna settle for this, I'm gonna settle for that, you know and they don't want to raise their sons to be strong. They don't want to have their sons in a weight room at an early age, man. I was doing some introspection yesterday, and I was just thinking. I said, you know, when I first started training, like maybe 20, when I first got serious with it, like 2020, like yeah, I used to do push-ups and all that, right? But 2020, I noticed that I was training without watching bodybuilding and all this different type of stuff. It was something that I was already naturally cling to. Just, oh, it's time to get in shape. I need to buy weights. Oh, I need to do this. I need to do that. I've been training like that. When I was 11 years old is when my dad gave me a weight set, and I was curling weights. I was doing like 200 crunches in my room. I probably wasn't hip to the push-ups yet, but I was curling weights, at an early age. I remember that year at the age of 11. I remember I was like a size 6 shoe, and then when I got back to school in like seventh grade, I was a size 11 and a half at the age of 11, bro. So I remember just I was working, working. So that in a sense, right? This is a quick little, just a little quick little, little motivations or whatnot. You can take it how you want to take it. But I'm just saying, man, when you're a young man, it's pivotal for you to focus on longevity, focus on being in shape, focus on something, right? Because when you get older and you start and you get on semen retention and you get that rewiring happens and it brings you back to how you were in those years when you was transforming and your brain was molding you into who you are, you're gonna come right back to that. So that's why I'm always lifting weights. I love moving some iron. I love just challenging myself and building a strong physique. And it has nothing to do with bodybuilding, right? I could care less about bodybuilding, but bodybuilding does have benefits because you learn a lot of things. You learn new techniques, you learn this, that, and the third, but that was never primarily my what motivated me to train. You see what I'm saying, fellas? It's just natural. It's a natural instinct for a man to want to be strong. And a lot of the natural instincts for men these days is fornication, right? Lust, because this is what they're being pushed to. Now they thinking, oh, this is my natural way. This is what I'm naturally into. It's just it's really strange, man. We living in times right now, man, where I'm telling y'all, man, if you haven't put it away, it's only getting worse. It's only getting worse. Gotta put away that social media. Gotta put away that Instagram. Gotta put away all of that, man, because they're gonna push it to you in some shape or form, man. Even on YouTube, when you're learning about something, you're learning about like on YouTube, I'll be looking at the glycemic index of certain foods, right? Learning different recipes and things like that, and learning that if we do this to certain foods that have a medium to high glycemic rate, then we got to do this and that to it to lower the glycemic rate to not spike your insulin and your blood sugar levels, right? Even if you don't have a problem with it and you building your body, you still want to be insulin resistant. You still want to be sensitive to insulin. You don't want to be resistant to it, right? So little things like that you be learning about, and then they'll put an ad of two broads talking about some nonsense on there with makeup on and looking like they seductive or whatnot, and you're like, what the heck, y'all pushing this to me for? So you'll see, look, either way, you gotta be vigilant, all right. Even if it's a platform where you learning something on, you gotta be vigilant. But when it come down to that scrolling and posting pictures and stuff like that, you definitely gotta put that away. That's a big red flag. Instagram is a big red flag. So it's all them other apps. What's the other ones? TikTok, all that. All them little 15-second videos and all that little nonsense, man. You gotta put that stuff away. For real. It's not doing nothing. He said, my family, Akeem said, my family members are not set apart and still stuck in religion. I had to respectfully distance myself. I tried to show them to Yahusha, but they pushed me away. So I had no choice but to roll solo. Man, it be like that, man. It be like that for real. You gotta push family away. Sometimes you have to. I think the most high that my mother, she's up to par with it, man. I had my mother out here in California. We was on the patio. We was talking that goodness, man. She was like, okay. She's like, I'm glad, gotta stop, gotta put away those names. We was talking about these laws, statutes, commandments. Yeah, gotta put away all that. She's like, man, I don't be eating that shrimp no more. I don't be eating this no more. I don't be eating that no more. I'm just trying to take care of my health. I got her on some supplements, got on that DHEA, got on that boron, got on that acetyl L-carnitine, got her on that, man. Got on that Shilajit, man. You know what I'm saying? Every time we talk, it's edifying, man. That's why I say all praises, man. Honor your mother and your father because it's up to us too to share that basura. And if they don't want the basura, then hey, guess what? We keep it pushing. It's that simple. But let me go check these potatoes real quick just in case my wife didn't turn the stove off. I'll be right back. Brief intermission. Play some hotel jazz music. Some hotel jazz music. Oh, thank you, dog. Play some of that hotel jazz music in the background. So just being honest, I'm putting away the social media because it does trigger me subliminally. Yeah, man, definitely got to. Because when you put that social media away, you don't get sucked into it in reality. right? You see, it be these broads, right? I'm telling you, man, it be these broads that, be looking at you lustfully, like just looking at you like, like they really trying to get it in or something, man. And they be, they will look away and then look back your way, and then, they be reacting real hard. But when you put away all forms of lust where you could even examine it, you don't be caring when it's in your face. Like you have such a peaceful, stoic look about yourself, like, and they be like, hold up, like he's just not moving for it. You know what I'm saying? Because these women, they do those type of things on social media, right? It's wild, man. It's wild. They do so much things right that could trigger you subliminally, right? Because a lot of these things could get, implanted in your subconscious mind, and it may take years for you to push those things out to reprogram things. A lot of us are still pushing a lot of things out and reprogramming things. That's the reason why we're not conforming to lust, right? When you push lust out, you gotta keep it out. It's like, hey, lust ain't paying the bills, man. You can't have somebody in your house that's just eating up all your food, eating up all your chicken, eating up all your beef, eating up all your greens, and not, resupplying it, man. You know, talking about, yeah, man, I'm gonna get it soon. Nah, you gotta get up out of here. So that's how you gotta treat lust, man. You don't give lust no spirit key. Just kick it out. Boom. So when you get off that social media, you definitely gotta, stop swiping. Sometimes when we first get on YouTube, it will have one or two suggestions right on the homepage based off of what you watch. And sometimes it could be something surprisingly interesting that you're looking forward to. If you into fitness, nutrition, like me, those things pop up. So on my platform, what pops up on my platform? Weightlifting, nutrition, and nature documentaries and righteous things, like things always pertaining to Yahuwah and Yahusha. So, but on this platform, they always put little ads in increments, and that's something that you got to pay attention to. Because like I was talking, how they be putting little ads talking about some 52-year-old woman, looking for a young man or whatever. You be like, what's going on, bro? They just be pushing stuff everywhere, and it's you just got to make sure that you really, really have understanding of what it is that you're doing and looking for. So yeah, them social media apps where you could post pictures and do all this type of stuff, man. It's no purpose. For real. So on this side, we know better than to scroll on any type of these apps. Yeah, man. For real. It's such a peaceful thing that I don't have my phone notifications don't be going off. That's a beautiful thing, man. When people can't find you. Cause I remember when I had Instagram, man, I had like over 7,000 followers on Instagram, and I was only following like 300, man. And I remember, man, a lot of these people you don't even know, and when they like your pictures, they calling you handsome and this, that, and, all in your DMs and liking. You don't know who these people are, and once you put those things away, you realize, like, who are these people? You know what I'm saying? But when it comes down to notifications, I get them from YouTube. I get them from, what else, man? Like Amazon or something like that. What else? That's about it, really. Or if I'm ordering some groceries or something like that. But other than that, I don't really get notifications like that on my phone. Social media will always put stuff too, If you got Instagram, they'll be like, oh, this person just posted this. Oh, this person just posted that. Oh, check this new photo out. Or check this new reel out or whatever, It's just nonsense, man. Is that we smile when we around. Akeem said we smile when we around people that have a sound mind and a sound heart. We smile when we surround ourselves with individuals that have their hearts set on Yahuwah. Absolutely, man. It's you gotta be really watchful of your enemies, man. You gotta be really watchful because some people just be feeling good temporarily for the moment, because they hit that weed or they hit that liquor, and these people be coming with a smile on them, or somebody, just something of the world, man. They just be feeling good in the world, and they'll come at you with that presence, and you'll be like, oh, this person would say, oh, how you doing? And you'll be like, oh, I'm doing well, and they'll try to break a whole conversation, but we don't break bread with those, man. At times, man, they say something to us, we give them a 1-2, and then we stay quiet, and then they're the ones that if they want to say something again, then they come. Sometimes we don't like having full blown conversations that's gonna waste our time because we don't cast our pearls with swine, man. How could you give somebody wisdom and then they just gonna toss that wisdom away to the wayside? That's why we don't waste our time. Our words must be used with wisdom and must be given right to those that wanna absorb it, wanna take it, right? And a lot of people don't want it, right? A lot of people just they just want to talk, 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 just to you know try to get something from you know. I don't really like using that word like energy all the time, really. But yeah, they just try to lower your presence, man. That's it. They just try to lower your presence. They try to take that peace away from you, take that shalom away from you. When people open their mouth and they're not trying to give anything back righteously, they just trying to take from you. For real. Man, this live is booming, man. I feel like we really in the rock right now, really just applying pressure, man. This is edifying. I hope y'all stay edified too after this live, man, because my stomach, I might start, my stomach feel like I'm about to hit a vacuum pose right now. 'Cause, you train that full body, man, that gets your appetite up. I'm telling you. Said a lot of women want a righteous man, but don't want to follow the Most High's law, statutes, commandments. That's right, man. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. See, a lot of these bros, man, when they come around a righteous man, they be looking like they trying to give you everything, right? But they only come in here to take, man. And we don't hate women, man. That's one thing you got to get established. We don't hate women. Like even in the gym, you gotta wipe down your machine, and it's a lady behind you waiting. Why not? If you already sprayed down your paper towel, whatever like that, how about you hand her a paper towel and then hand her the spray bottle too? So a quick gesture, man. You don't be out here just walking over women like you don't care about people. Like we don't do that even when it come down to gentlemen as well too. When it come down to other fellas that's not walking accordingly to the Most High, we don't just step over people and just be rude and obnoxious. You know what I'm saying? We still be respectful. But when it come down to these women, man, these women, they don't even know what they want. Let's be truthful. A lot of women don't know what they want, right? A lot of women don't know what they want. So a lot of times don't even know what they want a righteous man. They just say, I want a man that's gonna treat me right, treat you right. To them, a man treating them right is a man doing everything for them. That they don't gotta come do nothing. And then when you open up Proverbs 31:3, it says that the woman go fetch the meat. Boom. The hey, the woman does this, that, and the third. Like the woman not just supposed to sit on her backside, and just be chilling. Like the woman, she's a helpmeet. People don't understand that, right? And a lot of these women, man, they just these days just like, when they come to a righteous man's life, they just want their back blown out, truthfully. But we don't waste our seed on foolishness. We don't waste our seed on things that's not gonna produce fruit, right? You give your seed to a woman that's gonna produce fruit, and then you look at your seed, you look at your offspring, you're like, man, I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. For real. Yeah, women had yeah, women had women has the women brainwashed. That's facts. That's real talk, man, because when a woman sees a woman getting attention, she's gonna be like, okay, that's what I can do to get the attention too. The men too, but it's mostly the women. Yeah, women lead women at the end of the day. And when a woman sees another woman getting that reception, she's gonna change her appearance to get that same reception too. And yeah, men are being brainwashed by women. A lot of modern men is getting brainwashed by women because their ideals is feminine. That's why. Real feminine. They don't know how to be about truth, be about, improvement. Like I said, man, you can't be out here lusting and think that because you in the gym you working on yourself. Nah, bruh. You not. Said I can't lie. I can't lie. Growing up with a single European mother and no father, I did grow up soft and misguided until I found the Most High. I mean, hey man, look, it's completely fine to know that. You know, I didn't grow with my biological father, but I know him, and we do have a strong relationship. But here's one thing: we should never say that we grew up soft, because I feel like I didn't grow up soft. I feel like you know, I think I grew up pretty good, pretty good. Because if I was talking about weightlifting, how I started lifting weights at 11. If I never picked up skateboarding, I would have probably been like, I would have had that same amount of time I put in the skateboarding. I would have had that same amount of experience weightlifting. And I've been skating from 13 to maybe like mid 20s, you know. And I can still get on a board right now and do a very heel flip, do a hard flip, do a nollie 360 base spin. I can still do them tricks right now. So, okay, being at 32 and I'm 13, okay, cool. I have over 15 years skateboarding experience. So, and I used to do tricks off 10 set stairs and all that. I wish back in those days, man, I had the footage, man. When we used to go to 10 set stairs, I'd be skateboarding with some Chuck Taylors on. I used to skate with my slip on Vans, man, because I didn't really like shoes that was so tight. I like vulcanized shoes that got to go bend to it. You know what I'm saying, man? Man, I remember sponsorships and all that at the skate shop, the local skate shops. Man, if I was weightlifting during them times and I just kept doing that instead of skateboarding, been at a whole different level. So yeah, hey, don't think you grew up soft, man. You know, the misguided, it don't make you soft, but you see the man you are right now, you've been strong. You know, the most high just had to, wake you up, wake that line of your Yehuda in you. Really had to. Because we all been through things. We all been through things in life that possibly made you think that you were soft, but you was never soft at all. Even when it come down to people trying to bully you and things like that. I remember in my earlier years, you know, people used to think that they was bullying me at the time. And then, one day you just snap. You feel what I'm saying? I remember that like because I went to school before going to school long term in America. I was going to school in the Caribbean, man. I was going to school in Trinidad before I came back to America. See, I was going to school in America for a little while. I was going to school in Harlem, right? And I left Harlem to move to Trinidad, and I was 5. And I lived in Trinidad until I was 8. And now if we know like, you know, the scientific studies that says from the age 1 to 7 is the forming, right? How the brain forms and builds the character of the man, right? So in Trinidad, I was doing track and field. I was very athletic, track and field. I was beating people that was way older than me. I was beating teenagers at that time too. And when I came back to the States, it was a whole different ideal, a whole different system. So I didn't know why people was, the way they were. I had an accent and everything. If y'all know me on some lives in the past, I bring out that patois, So what I mean, see, we can call I can do it anytime I want to do it, but I'd rather just stay right here and just speak to y'all just regular. So when I was talking like that when I was younger, man, they was out here making jokes and everything like that, man. And I remember one time, man, 5th grade, I used to be real educated, real into my books in school. I came with a big backpack, backpack leaned over, hit a dude, you know, he palm smacked me in my face. I took that bag off. I yoked him up, slammed him against the lockers. Went crazy. I went like man, action figure time on him. I tossed him all the way across the hallway. Bang, bang, boom, 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 boom. And those were the times I was weightlifting in my room. So you remember them earlier years, man, when you watching Dragon Ball Z? Boy, you in there training like you in a gravity chamber. It's only a 30-minute episode, but every commercial now like even when you're watching the whole series and they're going through that fight when they're in the Freezer saga, you train it while before we get on commercial break. So every set you put in work. Ah, ah, yeah, put in work. Boom, boom, boom. Working on your jab, working on your hook, bam, 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 bam. And then commercial time, then you take breaks. that was just that, that was one set. You feel what I was saying? That was one set, man. that was one set. He said a lot of mixed breed, half called so-called black women in my city will cling to another man of other nations and all. And and a lot of the times will deny the so-called black side because they father out the picture. Yo, that's a big fact, man. That's a big fact. That's a big fact, bro. I be seeing so-called black women. They be clinging onto a lot of the other nations. Myself, man, I'll be like, I don't know how y'all could do it. How could y'all look yourself in the face? Yo, what's good, Aaron? Shalom, brother. Hallelujah, Yahusha. Let's get it. Yeah. So having a black dad who shuns me, I can see where they came from, but I forgive them. Yeah, I forgive my father. Yeah, I forgive my dad a long time ago, man. Well, not too long ago, but I forgave him to the point where like our relationship brings him peace now, and I'm pretty grateful for it. You know what I mean? Because we think about it, and the seed that he gave to our mother. Look at us now. Look at our stature now. Look at our walk now. Look at the power we got now. I mean, I don't know for sure if my dad was ever practicing semen retention, but the Most High definitely tweak some things in that seed, and make sure that a lot of us was gonna be the way we were now. Feel what I'm saying? I was born in 93, so you know what they say, man. In the 90s, man. They be like, they said we was the last breed, bro. They said we was gonna be the last breed. Said anything above, man, is gonna be a little shaky. But yeah, shake the dust off the feet. Yeah, when they don't accept the truth, that's a fact. You shake your feet off, and it's an immediate feeling that you feel like shaking your, dusting your feet off, man. Yeah, immediately when they start rejecting it and start trying to speak some other type of doctrines or whatever, you just be like, all right, bro, it's a wrap. You be trying to find a way to just be like, all right, man, I gotta go feed my cats or my dogs or whatever. You just like, hey, man, I'm trying to get up out of here, bro. You're like, yep, shalom, have a good day, peace. They shalom brothers now. That's what you say to people. Real talk. When you say to people, we'll give you more of that flavor, man. When people be all, oh, how you doing? You just be like, peace. That they don't even know what to say after that. They be like, how you doing? I'll be like, peace. They be like, peace. Peace. I'm telling y'all, like when we apply certain things, it transforms a lot of our experiences too. People be like, "Oh, how you doing?" I'll be like, "Peace." Or people be like, "Hey," I'll be like, "Peace." I'll be like, "Peace," like, "Peace." Like, whoa, he just brought peace to the situation. Like peace. That's something I don't have. Gotta stop chasing the world, and you're gonna be at peace. Real talk. You said facts. The broads. Akeem said facts. The broads that do that stuff are not allowed to come close to you. Real talk. It's cool, these bros out here, they can see you for what you are, because you know who you are, and you know that when you magnify Yahuwah, he's magnified within you. You know that you're made in the image of the Most High, right? You making sure that you leave the house with your garments, all your loins is girded, man. So when they seeing you and you working on yourself, building yourself up, building this temple up, making sure this temple look good, man, only more power than you. But these bros, they could lick their lips, do all that, twirl their head, scratch their backside, all that in front of you. What's that gonna do? What is that really truly gonna do, right? If they can't really get it, you know? At the end of the day, they do that to the regular dudes. They be doing all that, this, that, and the third, and they want to make sure that they could see that the guy will act like a dog. You know what I'm saying? For the righteous man, it don't work. These females be trying to do these tactics to see if you gonna pant at her like a dog. Once they see you, once you see her lick her lip one time, right? They want to see how you gonna react or how you gonna move or how you gonna twitch or you gonna act more nice to me now or something like that. And when you still acting your normal self, they're like, man, what am I doing wrong? Or what is it that he's doing that puts him on this level? Why do I feel like he's superior than me? When you put lust away, you're more superior than a lot of these things in this world. He said, facts, the more you indulge in, the more you stumble. Even when you try to run away, the withdrawals will be jabbing you left and right. You're going to have to roll with the punches and get up by count of 10. That's a fact. That's a fact, man. You got to, bro. You got to. I'm telling you. If you're out here playing tug and roll with it, man, it's only going, yeah, that the withdrawals, boy, them things going to be chasing you. You know what I'm saying? Chase after you, man. Y'all ever played Fight Night Champions? Man, hey, that was a classic. I think I had that for I think I had it for Xbox. Yeah, I think I had it for the 360 at back in the days, man. Fight Night Champion 2, ooh, that thing was dangerous. You know, you get hit, bang, bang, bang. Or you know, you playing with your brother at the time or whatnot, and you know you got to get up. 10, 9, 8, and you know, like in the story mode when it get really hard, and you really gotta be in that weight room. You really gotta be in that doing that bag work to raise your attributes, man. You know, you gotta get that heart up, man. You gotta have a lot of heart. This walk is not for the faint-hearted, man. You see, Danny said, "All right, brother, much love. Gotta get things in order for tomorrow. Get on the Discord sometimes and video chat one of these days. Love, brother. Stay safe this week. Yes, walking low no matter what. For sure, for sure. We definitely gotta schedule something, man. I gotta, I know it's up to me that I gotta be more active in there. I'm always active in some sense, sometimes I rather us always commune with one another. Definitely got to get more active. I know we all very matured, and I know we got a lot of us got families, and a lot of us working jobs and things like that. So we definitely got to get on there, man. Even if it's like 30 minutes. I know sometimes me and Akeem, we probably get on there and we be talking for like a whole hour. And sometimes, yes, you too, Danny. When we got on there, all three of us was on there, man. We got to get some more brothers up in there though, because I know some of the brothers that got on the platform before. I hope all is well with them. I know some of them they in college and stuff like that, going to school, and I know a lot of us are not in college. So it's a little different. It's a different field. But yeah, real brothers and sisters only. Right, right, right. Facebook, I still fool with. IG was fuel for lunch. Yeah, man. Facebook. I still got a Facebook, but I don't be on it just because if I do get on there, I'll post like just something of righteousness, like a statement. But when I see my peers so many years ago, man, graduating high school, you know, and I see them, not working on themselves. I just see them, just women wearing makeup, always in the parties, always in the clubs. The guys are looking super depleted and all that. It's just like it's a sad thing to look at. So I just be like, nah, I'm off. I have some aunts and stuff on there too, So that's the only reason why I keep it around. So just in case if they contact me, if I re-download the app, then I'll see what's going on. But other than that, yeah, I don't need unnecessary apps on my phone for real. You say, yeah, you right, the word energy is played out. Yeah, for me it's played out, man, because they just try to lower your presence and lower your countenance. You know, you said, I swear there be fools on every corner these days. The footwork gotta be nice when you step outside. Yeah, that footwork gotta be smooth, man. Like grass fed, unsalted butter, man. The salt is good too on the butter, but you gotta be smooth like that, smooth, real smooth, for real. Yeah, woman's supposed to be helped. That's right. I've been conversing with a woman in the truth, and she has 3 kids. What's your thoughts on that? I want to say first things first, man. I really like when I see a brother use the word properly, right? Because a lot of people be, I'm conversating. I like that, bro. Just conversing with a woman that's in the truth, and she has 3 kids. What's your thoughts on that? Well, you know, I mean, she ain't a widow or anything, so I mean, it's a little dangerous, man. We do visit the fatherless, so yeah, right now I probably don't got a lot of words for it, but if it was me, you know, I might. Yeah, I don't know how I'll go about it because I'm not in that situation for real. That'll probably be a tough one, you know. It's not mine, but at the end of the day, some people look at it as a bad thing, but we got to be there for the fatherless at the end of the day. So I feel like it'll be a beautiful thing, though. Don't get me wrong, it'll be a beautiful thing, man. If she got young men, young women in there, you set the tone for this righteousness. If it gets to that point, if it gets to that point, like we shouldn't even be listening to a lot of men's opinions when it come down to how to treat a woman, when it comes down to relationships, if they not even in a relationship, or they're not really fully into righteousness all the way. Because some people be like, leave these women alone that got children and stuff like that. But you see, it's different. She's in the truth, right? She put away her old ways. So, like I said, that's a beautiful thing. A set apart woman, y'all having a real conversation. She tell you about her situation, boom, boom, boom. You did all I gotta say, Aaron, it's a beautiful thing, man. I know I said I probably don't got no words, but hey, I think that's gonna be a beautiful thing if you do move forward with it, regardless of the fact. You just, put her on game too. She got 3 children. You like, hey, listen, I'm about, holding on to my essence. I'm really serious about that. I don't know what you've been doing in the past or whatnot, but either way, you got to give me like 6 months. You got to give me 6 months to a year purity as well too, because we got to eat on the same plate. If y'all really trying to come together on that tip, you know what I'm saying? You really got to put women through that, through that. What's the word? What's that word? You got to put on probation for real. A lot of these men out here, they just be knocking up women, hitting women left and right. But when they get into know a woman, they don't even put on probation. They lay down with each other in the first night. Sad. What was it like going to school in New York? Regular. I mean, I enjoyed it. You know, I enjoyed it a lot because when I came back, it was just different. I was like, hold up, I had an accent and everything like that. But it was cool, man. Going to school is a great thing. I had a great experience going to school in the city. Yeah. You see, in my city, there's only 6,000 so-called black people, and a lot of us are divided and try to fit in with other nations. Meanwhile, we over here find each other for no reason. Man, while they laugh at us, see, 6,000 together, 6,000 come together. That's powerful. That's powerful, man. Yeah, Aaron, you definitely, be that soldier, man. If you finding this woman really edifying to be around, if she's after your mind, then that's a good thing, right? That's a good thing, man. It's a good thing. Being able to heal, because a lot of us are healers. That's what a lot of us are, man. Healers. That's a beautiful thing, man. Definitely, definitely, definitely. That's a good thing, man. That's a great thing. Yeah, I'll say if you're moving forward with it, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I'll say that's a good thing, man. That's a good thing. And you see, that's how we find a lot of our helpmeets too. Like a lot of our helpmeets been in broken situations, man. Just you know, people be thinking like the woman got to be squeaky clean. A lot of us have been through things too that broke us down as well too, and look at where we're at. A lot of us are still getting better, still recovering, still learning, still applying things. You know, so we definitely got to be there for those too. There's a lot of set apart women, man. You go into the right area. A lot of like tell y'all, man, it's a beautiful thing when you come around a set apart woman, right? She a melanated woman, you know, of your tribe, right? Boom. She got that head wrap on. She looking modest. She got that smile on her. You know, she don't got no man, nothing. She just knows she come around a righteous man. Cause you holding on to that seed too, and you win them commandments. Ooh, she know it. Cause remember, women are the first ones that went to the Mashiach, man. So women know, right? That's why when men, when the Most High took the rib out of Adam, it's like it was a part that the man forgot, right? And that's why women got that intuition. Women got that like that sense that they can just pick up on a lot of things. That's why when we live in this lifestyle, that's why it don't matter what lifestyle the woman is living, she could already sense what time we on. Say, yeah, you gotta test the fruits. by the Ruach. A lot of men are looking for love in the wrong places. A woman is something that comes to you through the Most High. Yeah, absolutely. If she's not set apart, melanated woman, then I will hold on to my energy forever. That's facts, man. You know, we gotta bring it back, right? Bring back the melanin, man. Bring back the melanin. A lot of our men out here, they're going after women, European women, just like like we were speaking about. They're going after other nations. Instead of going after their own, because they scared. Because they know like that melanated women are strong. They don't be out here trying to stand for everything. Some of them are being deceived, of course, because they following all these worldly agendas. But when a righteous man can set that right and let her know about these laws, statutes, commandments, and wake her back up, right, because of her forefathers, the mothers. Same thing for us too. Our forefathers, we had to repent for their iniquities and their sins, man. We had to come back. So we do the same to them too. You know. Yes, yes, yes. Because we're not from Egypt, man. Our people be thinking that they from Egypt all day. They be walking around with onks on and all that, thinking they from Egypt and all that. No, 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 no. You're not a Hamite. If you came over here through captivity, like I was saying, man, you don't. If you a so-called black man, right, and you don't identify with none of the tribes in Africa, then simply that means that your people got sent through the Atlantic slave trade. No way in my family line they was like, oh, we're Nigerian. Oh, we're from Kenya. Oh, we're this. Oh, we're that. Like, no way. And it's not to say that our people are not currently living in those lands, because we know that some of the other nations, some of the other tribes are still in some of those lands as we speak, man. So it's not so a lot of them merged with a lot of different tribes and people. So yeah, that's not something that we take for granted though. Like, if you know the truth, then let's stay in the truth. You say you're right. Sometimes you gotta move cities. You gotta move cities with your tribe in a part of your town. We're not looking for nobody, but it's still good to leave environments that have made you sick in the past. Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. I've been trying to move to Montreal. Montreal, as soon as possible. Man, 239,000 people. So cool. What? Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah, man. Hopefully one of these days I come out to Canada. Yeah, hopefully one of these days. In the past, I always wanted to go because like my dad, he had a well, I'm talking stepdad now, right? When I say dad, I'm talking about the man that gave me wisdom and knowledge growing up, not my biological father. So yeah, my dad, when we went to upstate New York, close to like Buffalo, right? We were up in Monticello, so it was fairly close. And yeah, man, it was just really beautiful when you go further up. You're in that nature and everything, man. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. But hey, man, listen, I'm about to hit a vacuum pose, so I need to go eat. But this is a very edifying live. Put away that lust, keep it away. You know, and let's continue to let's continue to push for perfection, man. A lot of people don't like that. Oh man, I got to be perfect. Oh, I'm trying to be perfect. No, look, being perfect doesn't mean that you push other people down. It just means you're trying to be just like your father, just like the Most High. You're trying to push, man. You're trying to push for His righteousness. You're just trying to clean up everything, have that proper etiquette, have that proper walk. You want to walk with that strength. You want to walk with that power, right? You want to look like a man of Yashrael because you are a man of Yashrael, right? Got to move with Him, right? He can move in you, right? Right? You move to Him, He's gonna move to you. Right? You take one step, take 100. Take two, take 1,000. Real talk. So yeah, Shalom Aleichem. Peace be upon you. Hallelujah. All praises to the Most High, Yah, Yahuwah, through His Son, Yahushua HaMashiach. It's your brother, Uncle K. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. Y'all continue to have a Baruch day, Baruch night, Baruch morning, Baruch rising, whatever. Just have a Baruch moment right now as you're watching this. Have a Baruch moment right now. Stay safe. Keep a sound mind. Keep a sound heart. All right. Continue to be blessed. All right. The more blessings gonna come, the more we stay set apart. You know, the more we stay focused on the mission. All right. So shalom, brothers. Love every single last one of y'all. It's been great. Y'all have a great night. I'll see you soon, most high willing. But for now, peace.